Hello, I'm John Reisman, and this is Centrist News and Perspectives, where we focus on evidence, reason, and logic. We need to talk about voter fraud again because the GOP and Donald Trump has been saying for many months, this is going to be the most fraudulent election ever. Well, how does he know that 6 months prior? How did he know that back in spring and summer? He's pre-predicting this will be the worst, most fraudulent election. Well, here's what's interesting. He's not done anything about stopping foreign influence in our elections. We see Iran now and Russia both influencing the election. And of course, Russia's always been doing this, and Trump has done essentially nothing about it. Now, he did have a lot of documents where he used his tiny little hands to sign with his giant Sharpie documents that he was doing something about Russian influence on the elections. None of that happened. He effectively has done zip, zero, zilch, nil for his entire presidency to stop Russian influence. And we have a little bit of Iranian influence too. We've seen them mimicking the Proud Boys, sending threatening emails to voters. But we also have Donald Trump putting in Louis DeJoy, removing 671 high-speed mail sorting machines. These machines were designed to help mail deliver faster that had barcode. All ballots and absentee ballots, mail-in ballots have these barcodes and can be easily sorted by these machines. Moving 671 of them slows down the mail significantly across America. Now, I'm sure these are very big machines. Each one of these, plus their installation and maintenance, cost millions upon millions of dollars. So throwing out 671 machines, you have to wonder why we're not charging Donald Trump and Louis DeJoy for destruction of government property, but also interfering in election by doing so. Then going out with trucks, removing mailboxes so people couldn't even drop the mail. Then continuing voter suppression to make sure Americans had a limited ability to vote. During a pandemic, mail-in voting is the safest way for people to vote because you don't have to go out and be in a crowd in a line to vote. And with the mail slowdown, that means more and more people will have to go stand in line. And they're hoping that enough people won't go vote that Donald Trump will win again. But that's not the whole story, okay? We know that if Donald does lose the election by the popular vote, and in fact loses the Electoral College, if that occurs, that he plans to go ahead and say it's all fraud. So we're going to get rid of the electors and replace them with our own electors that are dedicated to me, Donald J. Trump, to make sure I stay president. And if that doesn't work, they're going to throw it to the Congress, which currently has more districts that can vote Republican than Democrat, in which case he's cheating on every single level. He doesn't know which scenario he's going to use. We don't know which scenario he's going to use, but we do know this. It is most likely he loses the popular vote, and it is most likely he will claim massive voter fraud to try and replace electors or make sure the vote goes to Congress. This is already in evidence. We've already seen statements from Donald Trump to this effect. This is not a lie. This is not a joke. This is Donald Trump literally trying to steal the election any way he can, with every amount of influence, including people setting ballot boxes on fire, people stealing votes and throwing them into streams. Every kind of voter fraud you can imagine that's propped up and cropped up in this election cycle is most likely, and again, this is intelligence analysis. With intelligence, you look at what is most likely. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and talks like a duck, it is probably a duck. This is Donald Trump saying, I'm going to prove there's voter fraud by making sure there's voter fraud, and then trying to use that to win the election. Now, here's the last fun piece I want to leave you with. Remember that RICO case that didn't actually go down because Donald became president for Trump University. In a RICO case, what you do is normally you set up a problem and then you become the solver of that problem. And that's a classic RICO violation. Well, that's what Donald's doing with this election. He's setting up a scenario by saying there's voter fraud, and then he's going to be the problem solver by coming in and replacing the electors with his own sycophants so that he can take the election or take it through the Congress. So again, all we're seeing is a continuation of Donald's lifelong strategies of fraud and corruption to steal the United States election. And he's saying, oh, they're trying to commit a coup. But remember this, Donald always says somebody else is trying to commit a coup when he's actually committing a coup. I'm John Reisman. This is Centrist News and Perspectives.